What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video. As you guys can see, we have an iPhone 6s Plus here that's still running iOS 9, and I'm going to be making this phone usable in 2023 or 2024, depending on when you guys are watching this video. This is a very special device to me. I have to say iOS 9 was like my favorite version of iOS that ever came out, simply because on this particular device, it was such a smooth experience. You guys will see. We'll talk about all these apps in just a second, and take a look at that, guys. Absolutely missed that rotating home screen. But anyways, let's get right into this video. And yes, I do have a new camera. I'm trying out something different. So if you guys want me to make more videos like these where I show my face for the camera, let me know in the comment section below. But anyways, let's get right into this video. Now, the question I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably wondering is why iOS 9 out of all softwares? Now, besides the fact that I love iOS 9, it still supports so many different apps, which is crazy to believe because iOS 9 came out all the way back in 2015, so it's 8 years old, and the fact that you can still download and use apps like Facebook, Messenger, and Instagram is a pretty big deal. And the other reason is simply because this phone still communicates so well with Apple servers, so you can use things like your Apple ID to log into iMessage, to send and receive messages. You can also use Siri, Maps, and all that awesome stuff. We'll talk about that in just a second as well. But yeah, this honestly really is like the coolest device, and honestly guys, it's probably not going to last for a long time because we know app developers are going to cut the cord on a lot of these apps. Apple might, one day stop letting people sign into their Apple IDs on this device. And I have to say right now in 2023, this thing really is a collector's piece. Like if you guys can find an iPhone 6s or any device for that matter that's on iOS 9, give yourself the challenge to try it out and see if you guys can use it for a day. That's my challenge for you guys. Anyways, let's take a look at some of these apps. So first of all, I have my social media apps, which is pretty much my most important apps that I use on a daily basis. I have Facebook and Messenger here. Those apps are honestly working perfectly fine. Obviously, there's not much you can do on these apps besides, just scroll through and all that stuff. This is my personal account as well, so I don't want to go through this app too much here. But yeah, I mean, it's literally the same exact app that you would find on a normal everyday iPhone. It's updated to the latest version, I'm pretty sure. Facebook is still being supported on this device, which is weird to see. The same thing goes with Messenger. But the second you open apps like Instagram, it's running an old version. As you guys can see, this is definitely pretty nostalgic. Really brings me back as well. This is really cool stuff to see. But yeah, as you guys can see here, this is my iClassic Instagram account. It looks so different. Like there's no Instagram shop on here either. And yeah, the little discover page is also broken. And then there's apps like YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. These apps are not working. And honestly, I probably wouldn't want to log into YouTube anyways, because that means I'd have to log into my email and all that stuff, which I would not recommend on 8-year-old software. It's probably not going to work that well. TikTok didn't even exist when this phone came out. So back then they had things like Musical.ly, and I was hoping this would have been Musical.ly when I downloaded it, but I don't know why it chose TikTok. But yeah, every single time you try to open it, simply doesn't open. And then Twitter isn't going to work either because you guys know Twitter is no longer Twitter, it's now X. But honestly, like the real reason is probably because the servers have been shut down or whatever, and they simply did not want you to log in. The other really cool thing here is that Siri is still working, like I said. Hey Siri, how's it going?
Not too shabby. Thanks for asking.
Okay, hold on. My little thing went off on my iPhone 14. Let's try this again. What's the weather outside?
It's currently clear at 63 degrees.
That's pretty cool. Give me directions to In-N-Out.
Which In-N-Out burger? Getting directions to an In-N-Out burger.
That's pretty cool, guys. So the fact that Siri is still working is honestly a pretty big deal. And for those who don't know, Apple has been pretty sporadic with what type of services they still offer on their old devices. Like sometimes the App Store will work on iOS 6, other times it won't. At this very moment, I'm pretty sure it's still working. And honestly, Siri is probably not going to last forever on this device, so I'm just going to use it while it lasts. But yeah, this is honestly really cool. The other thing I also want to show you guys is that music is still working. Now, honestly guys, I've been a Spotify user for more than 10 years now, and I could never go to Apple Music. I'm sorry, I know I make videos about Apple products, but I am a full-on Spotify user. And the fact that Spotify is working on this device is a big deal as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and just turn down the volume. But yeah, you guys can see here, we got the old album artwork going on right there. Very cool to see, very nostalgic as well. definitely brings me back. And yeah, I got all these songs downloaded offline as well, so I can always listen to them when this thing is not connected to Wi-Fi. So this is definitely the highlight. I have to say, Spotify working is a pretty big deal because it used to work on older iOS versions, but it's no longer working on versions like iOS 7. So it's pretty nice to see that it still works on here. The other thing that I also wanted to, oh, my phone just turned off. I have no idea what just happened. I'm literally recording this live, but let's take a look at what happens to this device. I mean, it is jailbroken, so it's possible that maybe the phone decided to respring itself. And yeah, I mean, let's see what happens to this device. This is literally just happening live. I was playing music on it, and yeah, for some reason, it looks like the phone decided to restart itself and it is no longer in jailbreak mode. And that's normal. It's probably like a broken tweak or whatever, but yeah, that's pretty weird to see. Anyways, the other thing I also want to show you guys on this device is that on our lock screen here, we got the slide to unlock. Definitely very, very nostalgic to see. This honestly brings me back. I love slide to unlock. I think it was a really cool feature that Apple took away, but for good reason, because back then, you know, if you just simply swiped, you would be able to unlock the device. But nowadays you can swipe and access your today view and all that stuff and all your widgets and everything. So it made sense that Apple took it away. Is it ever gonna come back? Probably not. It was fun while it lasted. But yeah, guys, I'd have to say iOS 9 is one of my favorite iOS versions of all time. You know, it's crazy to think that a lot of these apps are still working on this device. This is seriously a trip down memory lane. And yeah, it's kind of nice to see. I mean, you know, I never owned the iPhone 6s right when it came out. It was like my dream phone when it did. And being able to use it now is honestly pretty cool. And I love that little horizontal home screen right there. That's a really cool feature that Apple took away. Kind of wish they brought back. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys are going to try this challenge as well. Challenge yourself, find an old iPhone, see if you guys can use it for 24 hours. It doesn't even have to be an iPhone 6s, and it doesn't have to run iOS 9. Just try to use any old iPhone, see if you guys can actually get by with using some of these older apps. And I'm also going to mention, be careful with what kind of apps you download. Like, don't download banking apps or any email apps as well, because a lot of the software is outdated. It's not going to work. And for security reasons, you probably want to be a little bit more careful with the type of information you provide to these apps, especially when they're running outdated software. So yeah, it's just something to keep in mind. And if you're like me who has an old iPhone laying around, don't update it. Just keep it on its original iOS because you want to preserve it. And you know, maybe one day if you want to sell it, could be worth more. Maybe, maybe not. But at this very moment, this iPhone 6s and iOS 9 is an absolute beauty. I love this device. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed this kind of style where I show my face. I'll try to make more videos like these. Now that I have a new camera, I'm pretty excited. Like, I used to film all my videos on my iPhone 14 Pro in 4K 30 FPS, but now I got a Sony a6700, so I'm really excited to do that. And for those who don't remember, like the iClassic OGs, this is the camera I used to use to film all of like my first few videos on this channel. This is an A5000, so kind of similar to the one I have now, but this one did not have 4K. The one I'm using right now does have 4K. I think it's recording in 4K 60p right now, that's what it says. But anyways, I'm gonna try to experiment with it. Like, I'm pretty new to cameras as well. I'm trying to learn everything. So yeah, bear with me guys. I'm gonna be making more videos like these. And yes, an office tour is gonna be coming in a few weeks. Just waiting on a couple of equipment to arrive so I can film that video. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.